Good day, everyone. Today I'm presenting the progress of our project, which focuses on the packaging design for a new sustainable frozen dessert concept we developed, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is a refreshing kombucha sorbet made with natural sugars and infused with the goodness of fruit peels. This product is not only delicious and probiotic rich, but also sustainable by reducing fruit waste and offering a healthier dessert option for consumers. In today's competitive market, packaging design plays a critical role in influencing purchase decisions. Therefore, the main goal of our project is to focus on packaging design research. We aim to investigate Gen Z's consumer preferences in frozen dessert packaging, understand how sustainability and visual appeal influence their buying decisions, and finally, to collect and analyze feedback to guide the creation of packaging design. We had created an online questionnaire targeting Gen Z respondents using Google Form based on our research. We aim to collect at least 100 valid responses to ensure our analysis is meaningful and reliable. The survey section included demographic details, consumption habits, and design preference. Incorporated images are included in the questionnaire to improve clarity and visual comparability. It will be distributed via social media platforms like WhatsApp and Instagram.
For our research, we explored visual perception and consumer psychology, focusing on Gen Z. We found pastel tones are the most preferred and bright tones follow closely. So overall, pastel and bright colors clearly stood out as the most appealing options for Gen Z. Next, we found that Gen Z prefers fonts with personality. Serif fonts were most popular at 26.4%, followed by script fonts at 21.7%, bold, modern, and sans serif fonts trailed behind, and 14.2% didn't mind the style. Classic and creative fonts clearly stand out. Furthermore, we asked Gen Z about sorbet packaging shapes. The round cup was the top choice and cone-shaped packaging next. Therefore, familiar and fun shapes clearly led. We also asked them what imagery they prefer on sorbet packaging. A big 71.1% chose illustrations, showing a love for creative, playful visuals. Photos of the product followed at 19.8%, while few preferred people or no image. Illustration clearly stands out. Lastly, we asked them about sustainable packaging. Recyclable materials led at 34%, followed by biodegradable 21.7% and reusable 16%. Interestingly, 28.3% said it doesn't matter. So, while Gen Z values sustainability, convenience still plays a big role.
After analyzing the data collected, some research is done to link the consumer's preference. Several studies have revealed the relationship between packaging design and consumer behavior. A research article by Al-Mazmi shows that the design of a container significantly influences how a consumer views a brand. Consumers perceive a brand as credible, upgraded, and modernized when it features attractive, nicely designed packaging with sophisticated color, texture, and font. Moreover, some research that investigates the effect of type fonts in brand logos on consumers' behavior suggested that serif brand logos enhance consumers' activity perceptions of the brand and could effectively communicate brand personality traits. Not only that, a journal article highlighted the importance of a product's illustration, revealed that it can captivate the attention of the customer and visually persuade the customer to make a purchase decision. Eco-friendly packaging is a current trend among Gen Z consumers. Recyclable and resealable packaging significantly influenced consumer product choice. Recycled paperboard were commonly mentioned by respondents as preferred materials, consistent with their views on environmental responsibility. Well-printed products information in the packaging may build a communication bridge between consumer and merchants, delivering the product information clearly. Combining the findings of packaging design preferences from data collected and research of how packaging design would affect consumer behavior, a packaging for Scooby-Doo's kombucha sorbet has been designed and demonstrated on the left. The color that was chosen for this design is pastel tones, and serif fonts were used for the brand logo, providing a clean, relaxing, and sophistication sense that aligned with the brand personality traits. Illustrations of kombucha, sorbet, and fruit that represent the flavor were presented at the front design for initial understanding of what the product is, preferred design by Gen Z target audience. The recyclable material chosen for the packaging is paperboard and PLA plastic. Well-printed information includes product information, ingredient, nutritional facts, and organization's name were presented at the back of packaging design for deeper understanding of the product.
In this part of our project, we fulfilled our second objective. Our second objective focuses on evaluating and improving the packaging design of the product. We first start by assessing the visual appeal using brainwave data to measure attention levels. After that, we conducted post-interviews with those individuals, and we gathered direct feedback from participants on their perception of the packaging. Then, we evaluated the material and durability of the packaging based on how it performed during handling, and we integrated some psychological theories to explain the consumer preference. Lastly, we used all these findings to improve the packaging design, enhancing both its appeal and functionality, and we also integrated marketing strategies to better the product. Now let's move on to assessing the visual appeal and packaging design of our product using brainwave measurements. We collected attention level data from 14 participants while they viewed different packaging designs. The table in the slide shown summarizes the attention scores recorded by the brainwave design for all the three competitors and our design. Our design stood out significantly, achieving the highest total attention score of 51,404. This clearly indicates that our packaging design was the most effective in capturing and holding participants' attention compared to the alternatives. Now, on this slide, you can see a bar chart that illustrates these attention levels for each participant. It provides a clear visual representation of the data from the table in the previous slide, and it highlights how consistently our design elicited strong attention across the groups.
Hello, I'm Sajda. In this part of our presentation, I will be explaining about post-interviews. For our research, we conducted consumer interviews to understand how people felt about the packaging design. We asked about how it looks, how clear the information is, and how valuable the packaging feels overall. From the feedback, there were several clear suggestions regarding the design colors, font, and overall appeal. Many participants said the design should be more creative, with brighter colors and more attractive visuals. Some commented that the font and grammar need fixing and the layout felt too plain. Others suggested using real fruit images or making them more cartoon-like, or adding clear labels like gluten-free to catch attention. Some interviewees suggested to add details, make the fruits all over the design. Overall, the feedback was really helpful and gave us a clear direction for improvement. Here is the new design we created after taking the consumer's feedback and comments into consideration. The new packaging design has brighter colors and clearer illustrations. Fruits are now all over the design, making it more creative and eye-catching.
Let's begin with the packaging evaluation. The packaging is made from recyclable paper such as paperboard and PLA plastic, which not only reduces environmental impact but also aligns with sustainable practices. This environmentally conscious choice resonates especially well with Gen Z consumers, who tend to be more eco-aware and value brands that reflect those values. In terms of durability, the sturdy paper material provides sufficient protection during handling and transport. It maintains the packaging's integrity without relying on excess plastic, which further reinforces its eco-friendly positioning. Visually, the packaging uses pastel tones that create a soft, calming look. Combined with an illustration-based design, it appeals strongly to the aesthetic preferences of Gen Z. These design elements also reflect a modern, youthful brand identity, which is essential for standing out in a competitive market. To understand why this packaging appeals to Gen Z, we can apply self-congruence theory. This theory suggests that consumers are more likely to be drawn to brands that reflect their own self-concept, either their actual self, who they are now, or their ideal self, who they aspire to be. In our findings, 71.7% of Gen Z participants preferred illustration-based packaging, along with pastel tones and serif fonts. These aesthetic choices resonate deeply with Gen Z's identity. Many of them view themselves as creative, gentle, and socially aware individuals. They also value sustainability, visual appeal, and authenticity, all of which are present in the packaging design. So, by aligning the product's packaging with these personal values and traits, the brand successfully fosters self-congruity, making the product feel not just appealing, but emotionally meaningful and trustworthy to the consumer. Next, we can understand the consumer response more deeply using the dual process theory. This theory outlines two systems of thinking. System 1 is fast, intuitive, and emotional. It kicks in when we see colors, shapes, and visual designs. System 2 is slower, more analytical. It helps us process detailed information and logical reasoning. In the context of packaging, System 1 is triggered by the pastel tones and illustrated design. These elements create an immediate emotional response. They're soothing, playful, and attention-grabbing. System 2 comes into play when consumers look more closely, reading the ingredient lists, nutritional facts, or noticing the sustainability message like recyclable materials. They start evaluating the product more logically and consciously. Our brainwave attention data supports this. The illustration and pastel design drew the most immediate attention, showing strong System 1 engagement. But in post-interview feedback, many participants also emphasized the need for clear visuals and accurate information, confirming the importance of System 2 in decision-making.
Hi everyone, here's a quick summary of the improvements we made to the Scooby-Doo sorbet packaging, along with insights and recommendations based on consumer feedback. First, we changed the font to a clearer, more playful one and corrected all grammar issues. The color scheme was updated to brighter, more attractive tones. The layout was made fuller and more cartoonish to match the fun, youthful vibe of the product. We also enlarged the fruit, spaced them out, and ensured they matched actual flavors. Confusing elements like the juice bottle were removed. A fun visual was added to the lid as well. From this feedback, we found that consumers care more about visual clarity, accurate flavor representation, and appealing design. Poor grammar and unrelated visuals created confusion and reduced trust. So moving forward, we recommend using realistic or high-quality fruit visuals, highlighting key dietary labels, and keeping the design fun but clean. Clear benefit-driven messaging should be consistent, and regular consumer feedback should guide ongoing improvements. Overall, the new packaging is clearer, more eye-catching, and better aligned with what today's consumers expect. Thank you for listening, and here are our references.